I don't think they're passed it, I don't think they have been passed it. But they're more important, but there is something, but I think I'm gonna follow them. Not very educated entities.
His daughter took him up to Louisiana.
Is there like a difference?
For 2 days.
Called order the regular scheduled city council meeting July 14th, 2025 at the City Hall, Jasper, Texas.
Mayor, can you please speak into your microphone?
He's got a mic on. I got a mic on.
Okay.
Let's see if
All right.
it's working. How about now? Is that any better?
Yes.
This is called to order at this time. Pastor Larry Williams, will you open us in a word of prayer, please? Everybody please stand.
Our Heavenly Father, Lord, come into your presence today, God. We come thanking you for all your many blessings that you give us. Lord, we thank you for our community. We thank you for all the community leaders, and God, we just lift them up to you. I would ask you, Lord, to give them wisdom that only comes from you. Give them discernment that they'll know what your will is and what is best for everyone. God, I just ask you to be with our community. Lord, I especially pray for young people. Lord, football will be starting soon, and I pray for Coach Crumity and all the players. And I just ask you, Lord, as a community, we might be drawn closer together by backing those young men. God, I ask you to be with this meeting tonight, and we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Go dog.
At this time, I'd like to make a little comment about, I was informed today that the people over in Houston are putting green ribbons around the trees and bushes for what happened out in West Texas. So, it's a green ribbon with a bow. I'd like to see our community get behind that. Put some green ribbon out. And Beaumont is putting out pink ribbons for the little child that was in there. So, just my comment. So, we have a public information, 2 people that signed up. Mr. Richard, come forward, please. Three minutes, please.
Hi, everybody. Please let me introduce myself. My name is Richard Brzezinski. I'm a resident of Jasper. Nobody special, but I'm retired and you're not getting rid of me. I'm here today. I know y'all have a tough job, and God bless all of you and all the people and business owners in Jasper that's trying to improve us. I'm just here today. I just want to talk about one thing in particular just tonight, Sandy Creek Park. I want to congratulate the city of Jasper, whoever built this park, whoever's improving it, all those involved. You really do not know how much it really means to some people here. I consider myself part of the solid majority. You are helping tremendously. 7 years ago, I started walking this park before all the improvements, the blacktops, the new park, the Waterloo station for the small kids and everything. And in the last 2 years, I've seen more and more people come. Senior citizens like myself, we use it for health. Young people use it. You know, there's fish in there. I feed the ducks every day that I can, twice a day. We have wild ducks. The look on the kids' faces and even the older people's faces when the ducks come running, when they throw grain at them, it does good to my heart. I just do it because I love it. You can walk your dog there and the dog don't bite me, I'll give it a dog snack, cause I carry dog snacks in my backpack all the time. You know, the fishing, the walking, the dogs, everything, and yet, please, I don't want it ever to fall into disarray because I think still it's underutilized. It is a gem, and trust me, I'm telling you this as from an outsider looking in, that it's inside now. There's towns, and I know places that would kill to have a park like this. I think it is underutilized. I sometimes think schools, clubs, different things, more festivals, anything that we can put into this park to make it better. I think it promotes Jasper more and more. You know, I've only had one problem with it, and I've talked to the mayor, I've talked to the sewer.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. It's fire ant mounds. We can't kill them, but we can control them. I know they have tried in the past, but they do it around the fish pond. But there's a long way around where we walk. And within 5 to 10 feet of the park, you can count anywhere between 250 and 350 small, medium, and large mounds. I'm asking and I'll go through channels, and I'll come back, and I will come back, because I love Jasper. I love the people here. Hey, you're not gonna get rid of me. And I really feel like I'm part of the solid majority of the people you don't see here. But I talk to them every day, and I talk to them more every day. Please, I love what you're doing, and I'm behind you, and there's a lot of people behind you. You know, thank you all.
Thank you. Richard, Mr. Mayor, may I ask,
May I ask him permission to speak to him?
No,
May I ask him permission to speak to him?
no.
We can speak to members of the public, but it has to stay within the lanes of specifically what he's up there talking about. That's it.
Okay, so I can't ask the question, so we go lanes, and he is okay with it.
I'm sorry, I don't understand your question.
If he is okay with me asking, and it's within the lanes, then it's appropriate.
That's fine.
Thank you. You mentioned you've been here 7 years. I'm just curious where you came from.
I come from the state of Maryland. I was here from.
That's not in regards to what he's speaking about. I'm just saying.
Right. I appreciate it. So since you came up in this conversation.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Wright, from the president. Ms. Wright, I'm sorry.
Good evening, and thank you, council members, for allowing me to speak to you and the citizens of Jasper. Once again, we find ourselves discussing Jedco. At the last city council meeting, our own city attorney advised that a workshop be held before any decisions were made, yet that recommendation was ignored, and this failure to hold a workshop is frankly disappointing and deeply troubling. Your decision not to engage in open dialogue before taking action erodes the public's trust. As taxpayers, we expect and deserve transparency, cooperation, and responsible leadership. I believe that everyone in this room wants Jasper to grow and thrive, but let's be honest, we haven't seen evidence of this from Jedco. As city council members, your role is to lead. The mishandling of Jedco business over the past few years has been a major factor in our stagnation. If we are serious about real progress, we must start by doing things differently, starting tonight. This is what I'm asking. Keep the 3 previously appointed board members, Mr. Sample, Mr. Hildebrand, and Ms. Miranda. Appoint 6 new board members, with at least half of them being regular citizens of Jasper, not business owners. Just because their bylaws allow for up to 17 board members does not mean that you must fill all 17 seats. Smaller boards are often more effective and accountable. Let's also be clear. Backroom deals, meetings outside the public eye, and decisions made without workshops have created a public relations disaster. To restore trust, you need a full reset. The resignation of certain board members is not enough. Why are you fighting so hard to keep board members over their legal terms for a voluntary board? Start over. Moving forward, Jedco must operate with complete transparency. Any corporation or developer requesting public funds for infrastructure must agree to open their dealings to public scrutiny. Additionally, I'm calling for a full forensic audit of Jedco. Yes, it will be costly, but restoring the public's trust is priceless. While this audit is being conducted, I also request that the council freeze all Jedco business. Finally, I propose that the Jedco bylaws be amended so that any expenditure over $25,000 requires city council approval. Right now, Jedco can spend unlimited amounts without our oversight. It's taxpayer money, and that is taxation without representation, and it is unacceptable. In closing, the decisions you make tonight will have lasting consequences. Please consider your responsibility to the people of Jasper, and to the citizens, your voice matters. Your opinion matters. And your vote, most importantly, matters. Citizens, will you be willing to sign a petition for recall? Consequences for taking action. Thank you.
Moving forward, we need a report from Mr. Dixon on the SRPA transit.
That's it. That's not SRPA.
That's right.
You said SRPA.
I'm sorry. Southeast Texas Region. Bob, it's SET people.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I've been here, I was back here in March, and I was here back in early June, and we had planned to kick off our City of Jasper public transit project back then, but for a lot of reasons, it took us longer. But I'm happy to be here tonight to say that we started our City of Jasper public transit pilot project last Monday, July the 7th. Last week, they did some training of the driver that they hired, part-time driver is gonna drive the bus. They hired a part-time dispatcher. My subcontractor out of Orange County is the one that is providing this service to us. But basically how this program works, we're going to provide demand response, curb-to-curb service to the citizens of the city of Jasper. This program is what you call demand response public transportation. An individual needs to call as far ahead of time as possible, at least 48 hours, so they can schedule their trip. This program is open to all the citizens of the city of Jasper, and we transport people. We will take people to school, to work, to healthcare facilities, to the hospital, to the food bank, to the public library here in Jasper if they need to come to the city hall or go to the courthouse. It's just general purpose transportation for the public, but it's just for the citizens of the city of Jasper. The vehicles we use are all lift equipped. If an individual with disabilities needs to be transported, all of the vehicles we will use in this program are lift equipped. The cost for our program will be $1 each way, so if we pick somebody up, and this program is demand response curb to curb, we would pick an individual up at the curb at their house. If we took them to the doctor's office, we would let them off as close as we could to the front door. Then we went back later to pick them up. We would take them back right to the curb in front of their house or apartment or wherever they live. So this program basically is going to operate 8 to 4 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It will run for 30 months. It will end December 31st, 2026. So the bottom line is, I'm so glad that we've been able to start this program. My subcontractor has been doing rural transportation in Orange County for many years. In fact, the lady that runs the program has a lake house up here. She's very familiar with the area, so that's an added plus to help us as we get our program started. Last week, they did training for the new driver. They transported about 8 people. I spoke to her this morning. Today they had, and this was about 10:30 this morning, they already had 12 trips scheduled for today. So I think as we get the word out on our new public transit pilot project, that our ridership will continue to grow. And I'm just proud that we're able to provide this service to the citizens of the city of Jasper. We haven't ever had any type of transportation like this anywhere in the county. There never has been. So anyway, the funding I received to do this is through the Texas Department of Transportation Public Transportation Division. It's called their Service Expansion Program. And so anyway, and we've been putting information out. I put a news release out last week, and I talked to a couple of the council members, and we shared data with the county and with the city to put on the website and the Facebook pages. So I think as time goes by, the program will pick up in ridership. But here again, it's just for the residents of the city of Jasper, and we don't take people to Beaumont or anywhere else. When I first came back up at the council meeting back in early March, we had to crawl before we walk. So now we're walking at least. We got the service started. So anyway, that's just an overview of, if anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to answer those.
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
And this will come up. You keep emphasizing the city of Jasper. What about our ETJ areas?
No, sir. Well, see, when we set this up, we just decided that if we can't do that. So I've already had, in fact, the lady that runs my subcontractor, she knows people north of town. So we just have to stay within the city limits. If we do, then people will be wanting. I know what's gonna happen to us. There's gonna be people from other parts of the county calling us, saying, well, why can't you serve us? And I just have to tell people right now, we have to start somewhere. And so, it's not that we're trying not to serve people.
No, I understand.
But we just, we have limited vehicles and so many, so we just thought this was the biggest city in the county, and I thought this would be a good place to start this project.
How many vehicles do you have?
We have 2 vehicles. And basically, they're gonna use, one at a time, so you never know, because, things happen, like I drive my car, you battery, I had to replace the battery yesterday, so you never know. So we have 2 vehicles that we're gonna, but using most of the time one in service. We just have to see what type of ridership we're gonna generate.
I think it's a good thing, because I met them this morning
Good,
at the store, and they had customers going in, coming out. So I think it's a good thing, and I even met the driver, so the driver was very friendly.
Well, he lives here in
Yeah,
this
he
fact.
does.
Yes,
He does.
yes.
Yeah, it's in your district.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
As this grows, are you gonna hire others?
Sir?
As this grows, are you gonna hire?
Yes, sir, well, that's who we hired,
It has a local-
the part-time driver lives here, we have a
Lives here.
dispatcher part-time, they live here too, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, you gotta have local people here, you gotta have somebody that's got knowledge of the city. So, yes, sir.
Thank you for all your hard work with this. I appreciate it, everything that you've done. I know it was slow to start, and I appreciate it. I've spoken to many citizens who appreciate this program.
Well, I'm hoping it takes off, and thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the first item on the agenda is the consideration.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
could we back up and take care of anything regarding SRMPA?
Well, okay, I thought they were together, I'm sorry.
Well, they are, but you missed 2 items to get to the transit item. But all I wanted to do is mention this. At the last SRMPA board meeting, the board unanimously approved a rate increase on the charges that come from E1, which is the wholesale supplier to SRMPA. It's a pass-through to SRMPA, and then it passes on to us. And I think the city it's a pass-through to everybody, right? And it's an increase from $33 to $38. And I'm bringing it up because they're in the budget cycle. And for that reason, I put them on notice last week that this increase was, taking place. Thank you.
Does that include all that?
I'm
Gonna
good.
do that, gentlemen. Consider for approval sets of minutes for council meeting on June 9th. We have two sets of meetings, and
I would like to make a note that the June 9th minutes need to be corrected regarding, regarding the Wade Wynn presentation. I did not vote in favor of denying the proposal. I voted against it. But it was kind of noisy after the vote, so.
was that for the consideration of the wash area?
Yes. And the minutes just need to be amended to reflect that there were 4 in favor of, 1 opposed, and I was one who opposed.
In favor of not granting it, or in favor of granting it?
The motion was worded that night that to reject his proposal.
Mhm.
Y'all voted in favor
To
of
reject,
that.
yes.
Yes, and I voted against it.
I'm still confused.
It doesn't change anything.
Okay.
It's just the record is incorrect
Okay,
at the moment. But Mr. Gerald will take care of that.
Are there any, changes or amendments to the June 24th?
Not that I'm aware of.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, none? Motion passes unanimously. And we're on to number 2, consider for approval, Jasper second quarter investment report.
I move we approve.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All opposed? No opposed? Passes unanimously. All right, and this is considered for approval of the allow architect to perform a condition assessment on the 40 Beatty ordinance house.
Mayor and council, the Betty Owen House has been in bad shape, I know, for several years, and we've looked at it. Actually, Gail Miggs is here tonight, if we got any more questions, she's been working on part of this. She's found this architect firm who specializes in historical buildings, and since this one is you gotta go through permit processes and everything to get it done. We're not truly know everything that's wrong with it, so we're asking the council to do a condition assessment on the Betty Orton house for this architect firm. And also, they're gonna do have engineer firm do a mechanical, electrical and plumbing inspection throughout the whole building too, see where we stand on that. This will take, they said it'd take several months to get it all done, time they scheduled and got everything up here. But we're asking the council to allow us to spend that money on this to try to see where we're at and what we wanna do with it.
What kind of money are we talking about?
About $23,000.
I move we approve.
I wanted to ask a question, I'm sorry, I don't mean to jump ahead of LaQuinn, but the funds that you were gonna use to approve to do this, altogether, it's like $23,900. Are these funds gonna come from the hot funds that the Chamber of Commerce receives for, because the hot funds are supposed to be used for historic sites, and every year of the budget, only a small amount of money has been allotted to the Betty Orton home, and it has fell in serious disrepair. And in fact, I believe the Women's Civic Center was restored to the tune of $146,460, while the Betty Orton home was not restored. I think the paperwork that you gave us said that no work has been done on this house since 2015, and the city is required the upkeep of the home. And because the chamber did allot such a small amount of money every year, could we take the funds from the $50,000 that the city council grants the chamber?
The chamber don't allot that, we put in, that's in the budget, that amount comes out of there.
Mhm.
And the problem, it's a two-step process to get money from, through the hot hotel motel tax. It's not only for historical, you can get it, but it's also gotta put heads and beds. And with it being, it's had been open, so we can't prove we're actually putting heads and beds for people coming by to look at it. That's what we're trying to get it back in the condition for it. Now, there was a plan to do the Women's Civic Club because it was in worse shape, and that's why it was done first, and this was on the second one to be worked on.
Yes, and I understand about the heads and beds. On the Texas Comptroller's website, it states that projects that may be funded with hot funds, quote, historical restoration and preservation projects are advertising and conducting promotional programs to encourage tourists to visit. So you feel like that the restoration of the Betty Orton home wouldn't qualify under hot funds?
That's something we need to look into, but I didn't think it qualified under it, because it has not been nobody taking tours of it, or we can't prove people's actually coming to Jasper to see the Betty Orton house to stay in hotels. Now, after we get it up done and start getting information from the hotels like they do for a lot of the events, then we probably could get some of that money to keep it running and do more to it.
But right now, you're asking that the funding come from where?
General fund.
From the general fund, rather than for the hot funds. You don't wanna check and see if this would be allowed for it to come from hot funds? Because like I said, the comptroller's website does state historical restoration and preservation of projects, or advertising and conducting promotional programs to encourage tourists to visit. So they're restoring sites with those hot funds.
Well, we also looked at some grants possibly for the restoration, but first we gotta find out, everybody on the grants, we gotta know what's wrong with it before we can fill out the application for the grants.
Okay, and you said the chamber doesn't approve this, so that $1,500 on the budget last year, I believe, was allotted for the Betty Orton home. It was like $1,500, or maybe it was $2,000. Who I understand the council did, but who decided how much to give the Betty Orton home?
When we prepared the budget last year, we did.
The city of
The city
Jasper.
of Jasper did.
So every year, the city of Jasper decided to not give, but just, a little bit every year.
We only have so much to go around, we gotta pick the most important things, and the worst condition on the different ones, and that's why it's been picked like that.
Yes, I would like for you to check and see about the hot funds, to see if anything that we do is able to be covered with that, because that is what it's for tourism and historic
Do
sites.
that when it comes to restoration, but I don't think it'll pay for the
Architect, yes.
Actually, I had a question. You made the comment to do with it. What is our options? We're pretty much stuck with having to maintain it because it's a historical facility, correct?
My personal feeling is that we need to, it's a landmark in Jasper, we can bring people here too. Between the museum, the Betty Orton house, and other things we have here, people can come here to look at it and see.
I agree with that, absolutely. It's a beautiful place. Is there a way that, once it's repaired, we can, I know at one time you rented it?
We did rent it out for different events, and weddings and baby showers, we have different things there for 50 years.
It's not in condition to be able to rent it?
All right.
Okay, thank you.
I second the court motion.
Motion been made and second. Any discussion, any more discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed? Passes unanimously.
All right, this next one.
4, consider approval of the zoning ordinance.
It was brought to my attention, the council wanted to bring back up on, the zoning, doing zoning here in Jasper. And so I touched back with Kendi Kist, the firm that did most all the work on rezoning several years ago. And he said we could start it back up. There's about $12,000 left in the budget for the total budget's all we got left to finish out the project. It would take about 6 or 7 months to finish it. There are several public hearings. We have to do a mail out to every property owner in the city of Jasper, and there's other things we have to do. But I was asked to bring this up and bring it back to y'all, see if y'all want to get it back going again.
I believe we should, so with that, I'm gonna make a motion to approve.
Oh, second.
I have some questions, if I could ask some questions. So when you began to do the zoning, that was in 2021, right?
Correct.
And how much has the city of Jasper paid them so far?
I think it's right under $100,000, about $96,000.
And did they complete the zoning map, for you guys, the job for you guys?
The map's about 98% complete. We had to have a public hearing and several other things to finish up the last of the map, is the only things left on the council topic.
And this is an amendment that you're asking for to the contract, right?
No, this $111,000 that's on this contract was the total price to do it, and we're about 12,000 short on that, so, I'd say.
So, what, it says contract amendment, extension.
It's just extension, I'm sorry, it is extension to the contract.
Yes, because the contract is not, it's not in here, just the amendment, so,
It's just to extend the current contract that we had with them. When they canceled it before, they requested to be extended.
and where are the funds gonna come from for this?
Come from general fund last time.
From the general fund? I would have to see the contract to be able to vote on. I don't feel like we should vote on something that we don't have the actual contract in front of us. That's just my opinion.
I call for the question. We have a motion and a second on the floor. I call for the vote.
Great discussions. When it was brought up the first time, it was voted on and approved, so that's still in effect. We just basically gotta make the last payment.
No, that last payment finishes out the public hearings and other things to finish out the project.
Has the conditions in Jasper changed significantly? Do you have to go back and look at anything?
Now, everything on the map should be pretty still accurate. We haven't had anything changed as far as residential or commercial areas that have changed.
Do you know why we failed for 4 years?
The council voted they want to stop it, they didn't want to do it. I'm not sure why, they didn't give us a reason.
May I be recognized?
Yes.
I really feel like we need to have all the information before the council votes. We need the contract. We need to review the contract as council members. We need all the information before we can vote on it.
We've got a motion and a second.
I understand.
Discussion. Vote in favor?
I call for the
no.
vote.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
I say no.
No.
3 opposed. Now you've got to consider for approval for the amending of dam rules.
Yes, sir. We originally, me and Greg got together, we're gonna do an ordinance, or try to ask y'all to do an ordinance to kind of limit, game rooms, A-liners coming in. But we recently learned Orange and Vidor are gonna completely prohibit them from coming into town. And the reason why they can do that is because the Texas Public Courts upheld, Fort Worth, they basically outlawed. Said, we're not gonna have it. It started back 2014, they went through this process, and basically, they've upheld that they're illegally gambling machines. So the state has said that any city can pass an ordinance pretty much particularly banning them, period. So I'm asking, I wrote an ordinance, basically banning all gate liners and game rooms in the city limits of Jasper. It gives them 90 days, the ones that are existing, to say, hey, we got to get out, but exactly what Fort Worth did, and Provider and Orange is also doing. But it is legal, 100%. It's Texas appellate courts held up, and then the Supreme Court, when you hear it, they upheld the appellate courts.
When you say it's legal to ban.
Fort Worth went through a big, like I said, fight, but took it all the way to the Texas Supreme Court, and then they said, but the appellate courts here, they decided they know they were right, they could do it, and the Texas Supreme Court said, no, we're not even going here, we agree with the appellate courts. The cities have the right to ban them, they were illegal gambling machines.
Questions? Is there here a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
Would this prohibition of these game rooms be just within the city limits?
Yes, sir, I don't have any control outside, and I've also looked it up, because I know the county was gonna call me and ask me. The appellate courts and everything else does not apply to the counties. They can do ordinances where they have, like they do now, they can charge them amounts and regulate them, but it only applies to cities.
And again, my question is actually pointed at the ETJ.
But right now, no.
Okay.
I'm soon,
I'm just clarifying, because those questions will come up.
possibly later on, after many cities start doing this, 'cause like I said, Fider, I've already talked to one of their head guys down there, they've just got to go through several different processes to get it passed. But they're in the process of doing it as well. I'm sure, like I said, over time, catches on, there'll probably be somebody petition, the courts again, saying, hey, they're doing it, we wanna do it too.
And what's the time for the existing?
90 days, and I got to vote in there. That's what Fort Worth did, and that's what they're doing down there.
Thank you. Who said?
You second?
I second. You got a second?
We have a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. The next item on the agenda is to consider for approval advertising for a third time seeking bids on the 210 Rear Drive.
Mayor, council, I've had several people contact me about this building, and I'd like for y'all to open it back up to bids where we can release it back to them and see what kind of bids we can get in. We tried the appraised value, which was good business, and also the $725 y'all approved. Y'all can turn down any bid, so if somebody comes in a low bid, y'all can turn it down, but we've got somewhere, what do you say, Robbie, we figured out a little, close to 600,000 in this building, so we'd like to get it back out there being used, get some of our money back, and, try to get back on track.
So, you're saying we have 800 in it now, and nobody bid on the 725?
Is there anything out there that can be done to make it more attractive to build?
The roof has been done, the air conditioners have been fixed, we fixed some of the plumbing stuff out there. We also sealed that north wall. It still has some problems. That could be more money we want to sink into it right now.
Was Provilos looking at that as an extension at one time?
Yes.
Are they still considering it?
They show interest in it, but they did not put any bids in the last 2 times.
How about as a rent or lease facility? You think they'd look at it from that direction?
Y'all want to lease it, we can try it, but we're gonna be responsible for the maintenance, and it's gonna be
No.
more problems for us.
I think we need to move it.
I did speak with a realtor. She said there might be some different platforms we could look at for our advertising. I was hoping she'd be here tonight, she wasn't able to make it. But yeah, we need to sell it.
Can I ask a question? My question is, this most recent, bid that you did, how many days have you had that?
We ran that for 2 weeks in the newspaper, and we left it open for 6 weeks, I believe. And we got any bids, and I've made phone calls and other things too, trying the ones that showed interest in it in the past. But yeah, we need to get as much as we can get it out to try to get people to look at it. I mean, it's a 12,000, almost 13,000 square foot building.
And you said the city of Jasper has $800,000 in it, Robbie?
In other words, that's the portion that we paid once Jedco vacated the premises. So we've had to finish out the note on it, and that's how much money we've got into it, besides maintaining it.
Do you feel like the building needs to be reappraised? Because the bid that we did before was for the appraised value, and that's been quite a few years.
It still goes by what some of the prices of a 12,000 square foot building will sell for.
And that is?
$1.1 million, somewhere in that neighborhood.
I think we need to get the right eyes looking at it. Yeah. There's gotta be a way to expand our field of vision, hopefully.
Well, we can run it and not we can put a longer end date on it, run it for 60 days or something before we open bids. That might be something we can do, but some people wants to bid on it. If they do bid on it, they would like to know something before the 60 days is up also. So, I mean, we looked at several options, but I think 30 days would be a good time to run it. See if we can get more bids on it. We're kind of stuck in a government entity because we just can't go out and hire a realtor and put it for sale. If we can sell it to another government entity, we can do that. We can't sell it to an individual citizen without going through the bid process.
Thank you.
So I think we need to do everything we can to recoup the city of Jasper's money.
Yes.
Everything that we can.
Is there any commercial, platforms out there that we can possibly put this side on that we hadn't done before?
I can check on that for sure.
Any more questions? Do I have a motion?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Any more discussion?
What's the motion?
Yeah.
To approve going out for the third time, 60 bids on 2 attempts a year.
Just clarifying.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 7, consider for approval to take action on Jedco board membership.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
I'd like to make a motion.
yes, sir.
I'd like to move that we wipe the slate clean concerning the Jedco board membership, that we approve and appoint 11 members, provided they're qualified, that the first 6 members be existing Jedco board members, just so they can serve a 1-year term to close out current files and projects. And for tonight, each council member can appoint or nominate one person of their liking.
Can I be recognized? I was under the impression that our city attorney told us that we needed to have another workshop meeting for us to decide on the method, but not have it on the agenda here. So I would like that, let the record show that the city attorney recommended that we have a workshop meeting to decide the procedure and to discuss the board. Because that is what the city attorney recommended.
But do we not have the authority?
I'm not the one, the city attorney recommended, and we're paying him a lot of money to give us these recommendations, and he made an opinion, and I think we need to stand by that, because actually the city attorney has also made other recommendations that this council hasn't followed. The city attorney made an opinion, and he said that what we needed to do was meet in closed executive session and discuss the opinion from Mr. Garza, and that was not done. The opinion was released for Mr. Garza instead. That's the first opinion the council didn't follow. And then at the last council meeting, he made an opinion, our city attorney, that we need to have a workshop meeting. And so I feel like if we're gonna pay the city attorney with the taxpayers' money, we need to take his opinions to heart, the council does. And it was his opinion that we have a workshop meeting and discuss this, rather than just to put it on the agenda and make a motion.
Have we not tried workshops?
We did have a workshop, but I think it's worth it to the people of Jasper to have as many as they need us to have. It's very important that we bring growth and prosperity to the citizens of Jasper.
Absolutely.
And I think to rush through it with just one person deciding this, instead of us doing, again, what our city attorney recommended us do at the last meeting, would be a mistake by the council.
I recall several people trying to be one person making the decision, yourself included. But this is not a one person, this is across the board. This is all inclusive.
You, myself included in what, LaQuinn?
Being one person who tried to wipe the slate and instill or install your 17 people.
I recall that you didn't come to the meeting, and so we didn't
I
have
was here, I
quorum.
voted against it.
And we didn't have
All right,
quorum.
wait, time out.
This is why we need a workshop, Mr. Hildebrand.
All right, we have a motion on the floor.
Okay.
Is there any seconds on the motion on the floor?
Can you repeat your motion?
Could I,
Let me repeat the motion, Bob, please. I move we wipe the slate clean, that we install a board of 11 members, the first 6 being existing Jedco board members who can finish out the current existing projects, close out those files, the remaining 5 members being a nominee that is approved by this council, each council member getting 1 nomination.
So one person, they get to choose one out of 17 members.
No, I said 11.
11 members, so you wanna decrease the board and choose 1 member. Okay, I understand.
would you consider doing 2?
See, it's the kind of discussions like this that I feel
We've
needs to
had these
happen.
discussions.
It-
This has been going on for 10 months.
Oh, it absolutely has,
Yeah, and
I
it shouldn't
agree,
have.
I agree,
It
oh, I
shouldn't have.
completely agree with you,
Okay.
I completely agree with you,
Thank you.
I completely
Thank you.
agree with you.
All right, we have a
But if you
motion.
have the votes, please, by all means.
We have a motion on the table.
So you're saying, wipe the slate clean? What do you mean when you say leave this existing 6? What's that?
I'm not saying leave the existing 6, I'm saying the first 6 be existing Jetco board members now. The ones that are the most proactive, the most engaged, who are driving the current projects, who know those projects and those prospective businesses, developers, to get those closed out.
Ready to
go.
Pardon?
Do we know which 6?
We can choose the 6 we want.
So you're saying tonight we choose the 6 we want?
This has been going on for 10 months. I'm ready for us to get it done so everybody
They're
can get to
illegal.
work
Why should
without
we?
threats of hate and anger and assaults and attacks from the community.
Well, I haven't heard any threats of assault and have you been threatened?
Verbally.
Have you been threatened?
It's all over social media.
Well, I feel like that if we're gonna keep these same members, if we're gonna discuss this, if we're gonna keep these same members that we have on here, every other board that we appoint to is for a 2-year term, and the members that you're discussing have been on the Jedco board for many years, some of them 16 years consecutively, so you feel that's a good choice?
Absolutely, and here's why. In those 16 years, nobody's been crawling to Jedco begging to sit at that board table. Second of all, those 17 board members now, they've created tremendous success in this whole community. It's what they do. They haven't done it for their health, and quite frankly, I'll be honest with everyone in this room, everyone in this town, they're ready to move on.
And I know that they are, but I feel like, Mr. Hildebrand, that you and I represent the citizens of Jasper.
I sure do.
That is our number one priority,
And that's what
is
I'm.
to our constituents, not to any board that we sit on. And I believe that you and I have discussed that at length at multiple meetings over the last 10 months. So I feel it needs to be done right, and I believe the citizens are they're owed that from us, that it needs to be done the right way.
Why haven't you done it?
I'm not the only council member that is sitting here. Your animosity is very questionable, Mr.
No,
Hildebrand.
ma'am.
Yes, it is.
Point of order.
Absolutely, point of order.
We're not discussing back and forth.
Okay. Okay.
We have a motion on the table. Is there a second? Motion dies for lack of second.
Yes.
Lack of second.
Okay, I second that.
It's too late.
It's too late, it died.
All right, then let's redo this.
No.
No, you cannot redo it. We have to move on to the next item.
Why?
Point of order.
Go into the closed session.
We did not finish discussion.
Yeah, yes, we did.
Uh,
It died for lack of a second. Point of order.
Okay. Let the games begin.
Now we're going
Real
to the
quick,
closed session.
real quick. I believe another motion can be made even though one was not seconded. I believe another motion can be made.
No, that's correct, yeah, just
That's correct.
because that motion wasn't seconded, doesn't mean a second motion can't be made.
Okay. That motion dies.
That motion died.
All right. Mr. Mayhaw?
I would like to make a motion that we maintain 6 of the original members those to be replaced by new members. And tonight, each council person can put one name forward that they would like to see on the Jedco board at the next meeting. That is a motion.
Do you have a second?
Second.
I second that.
A motion and a second.
I'd like to discuss this. I think that as council, we should be choosing more than one member. This is not right. I don't agree with this.
I agree 100%. Let's do 2.
Well, sir, that's not your motion. That wasn't your motion. We're discussing
Would you like to
it
amend
now.
it? Would you like to amend it, ma'am?
You want me to amend your motion?
Would you like to amend it to 2?
You can amend your own motion. You can amend your.
I'm offering Ms. McCoskey the opportunity if she'd like to amend it. Yes, I'd like to amend it to 2.
Still have a question, these 6
I can name a couple if you'd like.
I think we have to have names.
The one that comes to mind, first off, is Dr. Brown. Ms. Limerick, I think is an excellent candidate for that board. I think Mr. Snelson is an excellent candidate on that board. Trying to think of them off the top of my head, I did not bring in the list. I think they need to be kept. We have some other members that are working on projects. Charles Warren definitely needs to be kept.
Willie King.
Willie King needs to be kept. These are people who are giving of their time and have put up with a lot of frustration over months of us not being able to do our job. And I'm embarrassed by it. They are weary, and I do not blame them for being weary. Enough. It's time for this to stop. Let's fix this and go home. We can remove any of the people that were currently put on at the last meeting by simply stating that I want to put X, Y, Z in the place of MLK, or LBJ, or whatever initials you want. So should there be somebody last time and you thought he was a poor choice, then you can say my candidate will replace. Would that be satisfactory?
I would like to call the question. Call the question. I would like a vote on this. I would like a vote. And I believe we have to have names, all names that we're listing.
Do you want the names before or after the vote?
No, I'm asking for, well, sure, but I'm asking for, call the question. I'm asking for a vote. Because I want all the citizens of Jasper to see the vote made tonight. Call the question. You have to call all in favor.
No, well, let's have a show of hands on this.
You don't have a second.
Is that fair?
You got a motion,
Show
but
of
no
hands
second.
Okay.
Do you want me to raise my hand for the meeting that we want to keep on there?
We're saying that we want to choose tonight. If we say no, then we're not choosing tonight. If we vote yes, I can get it out.
Do you guys have a list already?
I have about 10 lists out the card, you'll get, if you'd like to go through that part, you can take a second.
I believe it's supposed to be all of us that choose the board members.
At last city council meeting, ma'am, you chose 3. So I think you had your say on that, thank you.
What 3 did I choose at the last city council meeting? I think you're incorrect, Bob.
Ms. Miranda,
I did not choose them, but we made, the last council appointed Miss Miranda.
that's right.
And also Mr. Hildebrand, and also Mr. Sample. That was the last council.
Yes, those were the names you put forward.
No, I did not put those names forward.
They mysteriously appeared then?
No, sir, they didn't mysteriously appear.
They're already
They're already on the board. They've been on the board for a year.
Board members.
Order, yes. All right, let's start all over.
Sir.
Repeat your motion.
See if I can get this right. I move that we, tonight, each council member put forward 2 names of people they want on the Jedco board, and we vote to approve those members tonight. It is our duty and our responsibility, and we're totally within our rights to do it. And if anybody on the current board, I'll add that as an add, that we do not want on there, this is also an opportunity to remove them. What a long motion.
Well, and I need a clarification on that. Are any of the current board members that are working on projects now, are they to, anybody to remain?
My understanding of the ruling is all existing board members will continue to serve until they are removed. I don't care how long they've been there. From that legal opinion, they will serve until. So if we're adding people and there's vacant spots, then nobody leaves. If we're adding people that we want to remove people with, then we can also do that.
Now we recognize, please let the record show that the attorney recommended that we have a workshop. This should be done out in the full public view of the people of Jasper. This should not be decided beforehand.
Hi, people of Jasper.
Point of order. You're disrespectful, sir.
Is there a second to Bob?
You seconded.
I seconded it, yeah.
We have a motion, lengthy motion from Bob, then second. In the discussion, then taking place, need more discussion. Call for a vote. All in favor of Bob's proposal? All opposed?
Only I.
Opposed? No.
Motion fails.
Who voted yes and who voted no?
Bob voted yes.
And only Angel voted no?
No.
No. Everybody.
How many opposed?
So the existing board will continue to serve. Wonderful.
Yeah.